spend a lot of work to make clean water here in the United States, and it saves a lot of lives. And when it doesn't work, then it can be dangerous.
Thousands of people in San Diego are still being told to boil their water. It's a story we've been following since yesterday. E. coli risk is in the water. We'll have interviews with Paloma Aguirre in Imperial Beach. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I am Wale Aliu. Now, yesterday's advisory was first issued to the Silver Strand in Coronado and Imperial Beach, and later expanded to parts of Chula Vista. My co-anchor Kimberly Hunt is live tonight in Imperial Beach, leading our team coverage. Kimberly, we know residents are impacted and local businesses are taking a financial hit.
Absolutely, Wale, you have that much right, because we have tried contacting several businesses right here on Seacoast Drive. Many of them didn't answer the phone, and all of that is because they have been told to shutter. All of that because there is a boil water order that has gone out for most of the South Bay. All of that was put out by Cal-Am Water Company. The county we saw this afternoon when we got here was going door to door to these businesses, telling them to close, all connected to the water line. But the brewery behind me, where Mike Hess Brewery, is still open because their beer is brewed in North Park, and they're using disposable cups this afternoon. But instead of opening their kitchen, they've invited a taco truck to hang out in front. And then again, they have a coffee shop that is closed. So businesses all up and down Seacoast Drive have been asked to close this afternoon. This was all after this boil water went into effect yesterday, and again today was updated and expanded. Earlier today, our crews were at the water distribution site on Palm Avenue as residents lined up in their cars to get safe water.
It's kind of worrisome because you don't know what to do. Like, you get up in the morning, do I shower? Do I make my coffee with faucet water? You know, just the basic things that you take for granted, and all of a sudden you feel like you're in a third world country.
They said we can't even shower. I gotta go to different parts of the city, bro, just to take a shower. I got a kid, man, it's not good, man, it hit different.
Many residents are also at stores right now stocking up on bottled water. ABC 10 News anchor Nia Watson is live in Palm City. And Nia, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, Kimberly, we're here at the Northgate Market on Coronado Avenue. We've seen a handful of people walking out with cases of bottled water. We spoke with a few of them earlier today who say they are being extra careful with how they use water at home.
We cook with faucet water, but then it boils, so it's okay to cook beans or stuff. But yeah, for coffee, we use that.
These ladies left the store with 3 cases of bottled water. Their home is one of 17,000 South Bay residences and businesses under the advisory.
I would emphasize that the water is okay for other uses. The thing you don't want to do is basically ingest it.
County officials say they were made aware of the contamination Thursday morning. 106,000 people have been impacted in the areas of Imperial Beach, Silver Strand State Beach, and parts of South San Diego and Chula Vista, including the Nestor and Otay Mesa neighborhoods. Officials added the water agency Cal-Am is looking into the cause of it, but says an advisory is not unusual following a big storm. Dr. Eric McDonald with the county's Health and Human Services Agency says it's okay to wash your hands with tap water and take a shower, but be careful not to get the water in your mouth.
Because that's where the danger is coming from. And we ask for a few precautions around specific people who might inadvertently swallow water while they're showering or being bathed. That's generally young children.
Officials say to use boiled or bottled water when cooking or preparing food. Let the water boil for 1 minute before using. Also, do not use water from any appliances connected to the water line, like ice and water from the refrigerator. The advisory has also forced 300 restaurants and food facilities to temporarily close. Meanwhile, businesses that can stay open are taking extra precautions.
I seen on the news this morning, and we had some employees who were concerned, so we supplied everybody with bottled water.
And officials cannot say how long this advisory will be in place. They say sampling of the water is happening daily and that it needs to be at least 2 clean samples in order for the boil water advisory to be lifted. Reporting live in Palm City, Nia Watson, ABC 10 News.
And thank you, Nia. Water issues are unfortunately nothing new here in Imperial Beach. The Tijuana River is a steady stream of toxic water contaminated with both sewage and chemicals such as cadmium, lead, and copper, as well as zinc. And recent studies have found that the toxins have aerosoled, and that means that they're a danger to breathe in. I am joined right now by the City of Imperial Beach Mayor Paloma Aguirre, and you and I have talked about the water issue for a long time. This is a different type of water issue with the drinking water and the boil water advisory. But immediately you've asked the governor again for assistance. What are you asking for?
Yes, I'm calling on the governor to declare a state of sewage emergency because this is just completely devastating to us. We have already been pummeled by billions of gallons of sewage to our coast, which impacts our economy, it impacts our public health, it impacts our environment. Now, with this added insult to injury, this boil water advisory, it's devastating our local businesses. We have businesses up and down in Seacoast that are losing truckloads of food because they had to shutter their doors and couldn't operate. So, I mean, the time is now for the governor to declare that.
And it has been confusing. We have Cal-Am saying they're not really sure the source. They're not entirely sure, so they're continuing to test whether it was a bad faucet that contained the E. coli or in fact the water, while the county is going business to business saying there is a water issue. Conflicting. What are you hearing?
My understanding is that the state is the one that declares a public health emergency, and through the county they advise all of the businesses, especially the food operating businesses, health centers, senior centers. But there has been conflicting information. What I am very interested in finding out is the cause. And all we know is that the positive sample tested positive at the end of Seacoast Drive, which is the lowest lying area of our city, for E. coli and total coliforms, which could be attributed to stormwater runoff, but it also can be found in sewage contaminated water. So when we asked if there's a correlation there, they went as far as saying no. But they don't know the exact origin of the pollutant.
And do you know how long at all this may last?
My understanding is it has to take two consecutive negative samples in order to lift the advisory, just like it took 2 positive samples to issue the advisory.
Could be days.
It could be days. They said at the earliest tomorrow. It could go into the weekend. And like I mentioned, this is devastating for our community, for our economy, for our families, our working families. They can't just afford to go out and buy a pallet of bottled water. So, you know, thankfully we have the distribution center at 1025 Palm, Cal-Am headquarters. We've been doling out bottled water to as many people as possible. But this is an egregious situation.
All right, Paloma Aguirre, the mayor of IB. We've talked a lot recently, and we will continue to as we follow these issues here in IB and the rest of the South Bay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paloma. And we are staying on top of this story, both on air and online. You can also find the resources on our website, 10news.com. But there is still so much confusion, as we've talked about how it happened. And there's so much back and forth, the county, the state, the water agency itself. You'll recall the advisory yesterday originally said it was all of Coronado. Then it was corrected to say only the Silver Strand area of Coronado. Something similar happened in Chula Vista. It was scaled back to only include the southern portion of Chula Vista, not the whole city. And during the county's update that Nia mentioned just a few seconds ago, leaders said that they need more accurate and timely communication with the water agency, Cal-Am, that is behind this entire advisory. So coming up at 5:30, I checked in with Team 10 investigator Austin Grabish as he looks into the Cal-Am as a company and this entire situation of what we are really dealing with right now in the South Bay. Wale, back to you.
We still have so many questions on this story. Kimberly, thank you. We'll see you in 30 minutes.